you know, I got into it because a lot of times I've let fear stop me. And I had to realize that fear was, to me, false evidence appearing real. I'm sure you've heard that
Yeah,
before. And boy, to get up in front of all those people and
and not know if they'd laugh or not.
right, right.
Hi, I'm Carla Higgins, and this is the Double Duty Agent Podcast. I am so glad you're here. Each week, we get together and we explore the stories of successful double duty real estate agents. And from their stories, you can find the solutions to overcoming your challenges and the keys to unlocking your success. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Welcome. I am so excited. I have Miss Jennifer DeLong on with me today to share for you her amazing double duty story. And she is a hairdresser who has turned one business into two thriving businesses. And from where I'm sitting, it's looked rather simple, but I'm guessing it wasn't. So let's dive in, Jennifer. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
So excited you said yes. Okay. Because I wanted everyone to hear your story. And yeah, so let's jump in. Let's start from the very beginning. What had you thinking about getting your real estate license?
The pandemic.
Oh, COVID. That you're a COVID realtor.
Yes, I am. During the pandemic, the government shut down all Indiana salons. And
Mm. And how long have you been a hairdresser before this?
um, hairstyling, a hairstylist, I've been working about 25 years. I've owned my own salon for about 18 years.
So 18 years owned your own business.
Yes.
Okay. So then COVID happens.
Yes. So that was pretty devastating.
Yes, because we all had bad looking hair.
Yeah, exactly. I even grew out my roots with everybody else.
Just for sympathy's sake, huh?
Right, exactly. So basically, like I said, the government shut the salons down. I had no income coming in. I still needed to pay rent on the space that I was leasing. And it was tough. It was tough. My bank account was dwindling fast. And I had to think about, how long are we going to be closed? We just didn't know.
Nobody knew, yeah.
Nobody knew. And so I started thinking about what I could possibly do to help this situation I was in. I had a family and I had to figure things out. So I didn't want to give up doing hair. So what could I do that could possibly work with my industry that I was already in? So that's how I started thinking. A long time ago, I had an interest in real estate. So it popped up in my mind fairly quickly. I could still be my own boss, still have the salon, still work real estate. So, and real estate is something I could do later on in my older aging years, probably.
When
So,
you're tired of standing up all the time.
yeah. Exactly. So that's basically how I got started.
Okay, so you were double duty because you were still running a business, it's just the business wasn't generating revenue,
That's
right? So
right.
you had that going on, you got your real estate license, and then what happens?
Well, we were allowed to go back to work, and I finished up my studying and got my license for real estate, and I wasn't quite sure what to do. I thought, "Okay, how am I gonna run both businesses?" So I just started talking to my clients about what I was doing. They were fully supportive of me. They understood my predicament with the pandemic, and everybody was encouraging.
I
So,
love that.
yeah.
So I can only imagine that when they open the doors back up, you might have been a little bit drinking out of a fire hose with business coming in because everybody, I remember we were all like, I need a haircut. I need my hair colored. I need yeah.
Yes. And it was still very early on where, we really didn't know much about COVID, and
Right.
so it was scary. It was
Yeah.
definitely scary, and then trying to get back on my feet with the salon and clients and fitting everybody in, and then here I'm trying to build my real estate business. So, I just thought to myself, I love to help people, and having an additional career, I just kind of put it under one umbrella. I love to help people.
Oh, I
So
love that.
instead of thinking of it as 2 different careers, I thought of it as 1 career.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. And there's 2 things I love about that. I want to unpack that for a minute. One
Okay.
is that you didn't tell me that you became a salesperson. I have so many times people say I don't want to sound salesy, and as a coach, I'm always going to go like, "What are you doing to sound salesy?"
Mm.
Like we're not really selling anything. We are just helping people. Most people want to live indoors.
Mhm.
Yeah, so most people wanna live indoors, and they have things that happen in their life that maybe they want to or they have to sell
Mhm.
or buy, and you're just offering a service. So, it's just a menu item on your you could get your hair colored or you could sell a house.
Sure.
I love
And
that.
yeah, I think of it too as I really want to help people, like I
Mhm.
said. So I really don't think of it as being transaction oriented. I think, "How can I help this next person?" And, of course, I have to earn money. I mean, we all do, we have to put food on the table and,
When
but
unless you're a volunteer, absolutely, right?
right, right.
And here's the thing about money, right? Money is an exchange for value,
That's
right?
right.
So if you get something of value, you're going to pay money for it,
Yes.
right? And then I'm going to take that money and then I'm going to take something that I value and I'm going to pay my money for that. And
Mhm.
that's how society works.
That's right.
So when people tell me I'm not money motivated, then we really have to dive into that, right?
Sure.
Because money's good for the good that it does, and it's what makes us all collectively be successful is
That's
that
right.
exchange. So I love that. Okay, so we're helping people in exchange for the value of that, which is we get paid for that.
Sure.
And so we have our hair salon, and then we have our real estate business, and we're operating them under the same umbrella. And to me the beautiful thing seems that your lead generation kind of just naturally happens while you're underneath that umbrella.
Yes, and I don't feel salesy because a lot of times people will just sit down in the chair and say, "So how's real estate going?" And I don't need to be the one to bring it up.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's easy lead generation.
yes.
It's just conversation,
It
right?
is conversation, and it's authentic. It's not me trying to sell somebody something, yes, I hope that they would use me when the time comes, to list their house or buy a house, but, um it's just authentic telling them about what I'm doing and how excited I am. I am, in the second half of my life now, and it is time to have fun. And I think they like that energy, that positivity. And, sure, real estate is a roller coaster. I mean, you're going to have times where it is just, but I consider myself a solution-based realtor, and, yes, we're gonna have issues that pop up. It's what you do with them, and to me, it's problem solving and, you know, getting through, finding a solution, and move on. Don't get stuck. Just
I
move
love that. I happen to know you might have had a few challenges that you found solutions for and helped your clients move forward, and we don't wanna tell any war
right.
stories that are untold, but yes, you've had some challenges,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Unfortunately, when we're dealing with real estate, we're also dealing with human emotion and situations that are outside of our clients' control even.
Sure.
And our job is just to stay really grounded and out of the emotion. And the other thing you mentioned is that they're genuinely happy for you. Jennifer, you have this amazing energy about you. I imagine this is why people come and sit in the chair with you in the first place.
Well,
I
thank you.
mean, I'm
That's
sure you're
very
an artist with your craft as well, but it's just they get to enjoy spending time with you. So,
yeah,
of course, that's the situation. And you know what? If any of us can find a way that lead generation is fun, finding people who need our help is fun. And I think that coming from contribution, like you're talking about, that's a key. That is a key to that, which is just, I'm looking for people that need my help.
right.
Right? Not that I'm looking for somebody to sell their house or buy a house. I'm looking for somebody who needs my help.
Correct. That's
Okay.
exactly.
All right. So we get started. So this is what, 20 late 2020 or 2021 when they're opening up the salon and you're kind of you're hitting the ground running in both.
Yes.
Early 2021?
Yes.
Okay, early 20s. So
Around
tell me, bring
middle.
me from 2021 into the current. How has it gone? Have you had some challenges along the way or anything that has arisen for you?
Yes. I wanted to learn everything really fast. And so, one, because, I'm now in my 50s and, I just want to get going. So I would work a full day and come home and dive right into watching, different classes and reading all kinds of real estate books. I can't even tell you how many real estate books I've read, but just continuing my education just to learn as much as I can, and I still do that, and I realized that I wasn't going to bed till about 1:30 in the morning after working, standing all day, just working hard, and I realized I needed to create some structure for myself, and
Okay.
the number one thing I realized I needed to do was time block.
Oh, a coach's dream, and I can get somebody to say that without me prompting them. That
Yeah.
makes me so happy. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, time blocking. How did that work for you?
Well, I time block every hair client. So why wouldn't I do that with my real estate business?
Mm,
So I really had to mark out on my schedule book exactly when I was going to do things. And I had to get crystal clear about my goals. I couldn't
mm.
just say, oh, I want to help people. Well, how do I want to help people? And then I come up with that answer for myself, and then I dig deeper and deeper until I just keep peeling away layers to the point where I have really become clear on what I want. So,
And that clarity, what does that clarity do for you?
well, it gives me confidence.
Oh, confidence. Okay. Anything else?
It gives me, well, I get excited.
You get
Because
excited.
I can see something, I can visualize something. I'm getting it out of my head onto paper or onto a vision board where I can see what I'm capable of.
I
And
love that.
yeah, so
Does it also give you the ability to avoid distractions? So a lot of
yes,
times what happens to real estate agents and probably a lot of other professions as well is a shiny object comes along. And
yeah,
we see this shiny object and we're like, "Ooh, maybe I should do that. Ooh, maybe I should do that." And we get that I can do everything syndrome.
yes,
And we can do everything, just not well. So when we get clarity, crystal clear, we know exactly what it is that our focus is. And all of a sudden, when we're focused, all those things are just flittering glitter around us instead of distractions. Yeah.
yes, and one thing I had to realize is being dual career, I need to figure out what am I good at? And that was hard to work on because I had to really look at myself in a more positive light, find my own value, because honestly, if I don't value myself, how can I give value to
Mm.
my clients? So, yeah, it's what am I good at? And use that and put it into action. So,
Okay, what did you land on? Tell me what you're good at.
talking to people,
Talking to people, yeah.
I love to make people feel valued because they are important. They're important to me, not just as, you know, a client, but as a human being. And I love to add value not just through real estate, not just through hair, but you know, helping people to feel good about who they are authentically and to add some spark, add some fun. I mean, it's time to have fun.
It's time to have fun.
And then they get excited about maybe their real estate journey, and, it's not always fun, but many times it can be, and I think we forget that it's okay to have fun. So,
Oh, for sure, we forget about it. Actually, I think society tries to take fun away from us sometimes, right? The
absolutely.
message is not fun, so I love to embrace the fun. Is this
Yeah,
a good time for us to talk about what else you do for fun?
sure.
Tell tell everyone what it is that you decided to do. I think both to build skills,
Yes.
right? Conversation skills. Go ahead, tell them.
Uh, in the last year, I have tried stand-up comedy.
Now, have you tried or have you just done it?
Actually, I've done it.
You've done
I've
it.
done it.
Yes.
But, you know, I got into it because a lot of times I've let fear stop me. And I had to realize that fear was, to me, false evidence appearing real. I'm sure you've heard that
Yeah.
before. And boy, to get up in front of all those people and
And
tr-
not know if they'd laugh or not.
right, right. But, I as a child, I grew up watching Carol Burnett and I Love Lucy with my dad, and we would laugh all the time. So comedy, you know, was something that resonated with me in my home growing up, and I would put on little shows, and I thought to myself, what a better way to conquer some fear. And after I did that, I realized, wow, this is helping me in my careers as well and my relationships with people. And I- it's it's just a lot of fun. And it also, a lot of people say, "Oh, Jenny, you do so much." Well, yes, I do, but I'm doing the comedy because it's fun. That's my fun time. Of course, I have fun doing real estate and hair, but I'm making time for myself to do something I really enjoy, and it flows into my
Yeah.
dual career.
It has an added benefit. I think
Yeah,
anytime we go out and have fun and fill up our cup,
yeah,
right, it's going to have a benefit for our business.
sure.
But also, we have the saying that is, our business grows to the extent that we do. And I imagine, even though the stand up comedy is for fun, you also talked about overcoming fear. It's really growth. Like
Yes,
you're growing as you're having fun. You can grow and have fun. We all grew and have fun as children.
yes,
It's just somewhere along the line seems like somebody told us that we weren't allowed to do that anymore. We couldn't have fun anymore.
that's right. That's right.
And so I love that you're taking the fun back
Yeah,
and you're growing, and that has made your business grow.
yeah. And
Is there a correlation between starting stand-up comedy and growth of your business?
I think so.
Mhm.
Because fear was such a big thing for me, and even when I, perform, I think, "If I flop, I flop." I mean, that can be turned into something funny too, and you take it, you look at it, and you grow from it. It's solution based. What can you learn? You
Yeah.
can't have success without some failure. Failure is not a bad thing.
It isn't unless you didn't learn from it.
That's right,
Right.
and so you learn so much from things, in life, and so I've quit looking at mess ups or something like that as a bad thing, And, if I don't know something, I'm not afraid to say, let me get you the best answer for that because I don't know. It's
Right.
okay to
It's
say I don't
okay.
know. Yeah.
Would you rather have somebody say, "I don't know," or, "Here, let me give that a try," right?
Yes. And people want to be able to relate to you and they want to trust you. And that's how you build trust. Be authentic.
I
And
heard somebody say this once, that if they were talking to, it was on a podcast, I can't remember which podcast, but they were talking to script writers for television series, and they said that if you wanted to have a character that people would instantly hate, you just wrote them to be perfect. Nobody wants that,
right.
right? What people want, think about your sitcom characters, the people that you feel the most connected with, the shows that you enjoy the most. It's not their perfection that you're attracted to, it's their humanity, which is that. So, oh, so good. Okay, so stand-up comedian. So we have the owner of a hair salon
Uh-huh.
and the owner of a real estate business and a stand-up comedian all under one umbrella.
Yeah,
Still
I'm a
all under
baby
one
comic.
umbrella.
I'm a baby comic,
A
so
baby a baby comedian.
yes, baby
Okay.
baby comedian that,
Okay.
but there's room to grow, and, somebody said something to me the other day. They said, "Every professional starts out as a beginner."
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I'm
That's
keeping
one of
that.
my favorite coaching questions when with brand new agents. I ask them how many real estate agents they think started as a brand new agent.
I love it.
It's true,
It
right? We
is
all
true.
we all had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, so we've done all that. Now tell me, I know that your business has had some amazing growth in the last year or so. You want to talk to me about really what started your thought process a little? Was it that what it was? You had your business, you was thinking of your business one way and then you had a moment and then you've changed the way you thought about it.
I okay, so I know I've mentioned before I had to get crystal clear on what my goals were. What is my why? Why am I even doing this? So I had to get clear on that. And I had to find balance in my life so I could be of value. And that meant, getting enough sleep, having fun, not working 24/7, even though I still kind of feel like I do, but that's because I enjoy it.
Mhm.
I love it. But it's also developing connections within the industry and leaning on your network. I think sometimes we try to do it all by ourselves. And I don't care how long anybody has been doing anything, stay a student. Stay a student because there are people you can learn from. You can learn from people who have tons of experience, and you can even learn from new agents. Everybody has value.
Yeah.
Everybody has something to offer, and that's something that I remember whenever I'm working with another agent. I'm not in competition with any agent. I am in community with them. We're all in this together. So, you know, I believe in a high level of respect and rapport, and let's go for the win-win. And
Yes.
so my mind is just, let's do this. Let's make this happen. Let's get the best deal possible. Um, and when there's a problem or an issue, or we tackle it.
Together. That's why we call co-op agents, right? We're cooperating with one another
Yeah,
instead of
yeah,
opposing.
yeah.
Hopefully most of the time. Sometimes that doesn't always work out, but as long as we treat we handle ourselves the way we expect other people to act, then they'll
Sure.
respond in kind. I love that. Okay. All right. So but you were telling me earlier, like, let's get an idea right now. So you're running what? About one closing a month, one, two closing. What's your average right now?
Yeah, lately it's been a couple closings a month,
A couple closings
and
a month.
and for me, that's great because I am juggling 2 careers, and, um, I know my threshold, so, you know, it's all about balance.
Mhm.
It's all about balance
And knowing your goals,
and knowing
right?
my goals.
Yeah.
And my goals may be different from somebody else's,
Mm.
you know, it it's not always financially motivated. It could be conquering fear, it could be this or that, everybody's definition of success is different. So, don't compare yourself. It's okay to be a beginner, and it's okay to grow and to honor where you're at in the moment. That is another thing, you know, especially with the stand-up comedy. I'm a beginner at that. It's okay to be a beginner. Give yourself the time it deserves to learn and grow. So I try to apply that to, you know, the real estate as well. So,
I love that. Yeah, let's go back to one thing real quick, the
okay.
comparison. Right? So often, especially for the double duty listeners out there, they have a tendency to hear what's going on. So you pop into your brokerage or your market center and you hear what's going on, you hear other agents talk, and then we start judging ourselves. We start comparing ourselves based on somebody else's story.
Yes.
And comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
When we compare ourselves to someone else, what happens to us?
We deflate.
Yeah.
Our confidence goes down. We self-sabotage,
Yeah.
and
So when
yeah.
we look at that differently, and Annie Koppel in I think episode 3 talked about this, finding inspiration in others, right?
Mhm.
Instead of comparing yourself to them, find inspiration in what the other agents are doing. What are they doing? Can I learn something from it? So that compares right along, or um, goes right along with what you were just saying about learning, right?
That's right.
We get to learn every day.
Right. I absolutely agree, and for me, it's perspective on my value.
I love that. All right, I know this cute story. I want you to tell it. It's about your girlfriend wanting you to go on a trip.
Oh! Yeah, okay. So she wanted, me and my husband to go on this trip to St. John, um, to spend time with their family, and I said, "I gotta get more listings. I mean, this is going to be a more expensive trip for us, and so, um, basically, I told her that, I need to get more listings, and, they're like, "Okay, we're on it," that sort of thing. So they started sharing, my info and things like
Mhm.
that. So, yeah.
I love that. And what happened when you said that to the universe? I need more listings. What came to you?
Oh gosh. Well, 1, I conquered the fear of just speaking up and asking.
Yes.
And, that's interesting you did bring this up because I was holding back because I never want to feel like I'm bothering somebody or I'm trying to sell them something. But I finally decided just ask. Who do you know? Who do you know that might want to sell or buy? And I gave it a shot. And I did actually get people, "Oh my gosh, I do know somebody." And somebody actually texted somebody right then, and I got a client from it? So that gosh darn fear just gets in the way, but you just gotta conquer it, or if you can't conquer it, do it scared.
Do it scared until it comes natural,
Yes.
right? Because what that is that's our ego telling us that that's going to be scary, right? Somehow we're going to be judged or rejected.
Yes.
I've never understood how we could get rejected in real estate, but that's what people say.
Right.
Um, but that's a fear. That's just the ego saying, I want you to be comfortable. You don't have to
Right.
do this, right? Well, we do. We go ahead and do it, push through the fear. We do it in spite of our fear,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden our ego's like, well, crap, that wasn't so bad. All
Mhm.
right. That wasn't so
Yes.
bad. My
Yeah.
kids made me go. We went to Costa Rica in my kids made me zip line in the rainforest, and it
Oh,
was beautiful, and I was afraid the entire time, and I'm still here. It was fine, you know?
yep,
There's something, I invigorating or something about actually doing something in spite of your fear.
right. I agree, and it's time to live life. I mean,
It is, and have
get out
fun.
there and, your whole mindset can change, so
Well, I love that. Okay, so I am all about my choices, actions, and mindset on the Double Duty Agent podcast. So, what choices do you think that one or two, maybe three main choices that you've made that have led to your success so far in your careers? And we'll just call them careers because you have them all.
short-term goals and long-term goals.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is because it's important to have short-term goals so you know that you're hitting something and making progress. Sometimes if it takes a long time to reach those long-term goals, sometimes you get exhausted, or at least I get exhausted sometimes.
We
So,
all do.
yeah, I want little goals that I can hit because actually little goals actually are big goals too. It's all perspective.
It is.
But so, yeah, it's really about changing my perspective, surrounding myself with positive influences, time blocking, and one thing I do think about is you have a mountain and you climb a mountain, but in order to get to the next peak, you have to go down the mountain into the valley. And sometimes that valley can be cold, dark, and lonely. But that valley can also be a time for rest and renewal and awareness. So the valley is not necessarily a bad thing. So
Oh,
when
I
you,
and that's where the learning happens too, right? Because
yeah,
when you're climbing the hill, you may not be learning a lot. You're just putting
right,
one foot in front of the other and getting to the top, right? Then you go wee down the
right,
hill, and then
right.
there's a space in between, and that space in between may be where you fill in a little bit of learning, a little bit of growth, a little bit of perspective. Like, look on what happened and what can I learn from it, so that next time I don't have to work so hard to get up the next peak. Yeah.
And then you have the energy to go for it again. So,
Yeah. That's
yeah,
good. That's really good. I love that. So choosing to look at it that way and then realizing, where am I? Am I climbing the mountain? Am I halfway down? Am I in my lull here where I'm
yeah,
refilling my cup? Where am I at the moment? I love
yeah.
that.
So, yeah,
Okay. How about actions, specific actions that you've taken?
again, time blocking.
Time blocking. Okay.
And honestly, I am still working on that. I mean, there
I
are
think we
weeks.
always are working on it.
Yeah, yeah. So, it's hard for me. It does not come easy to me. It comes easy with booking clients, obviously, but to create my own time, whether,
Well,
yeah,
let me
I'm
ask you a
working on it.
question, Jennifer, because it's really about boundaries, right? Time
Yeah,
blocking is truly about boundaries.
yes.
It's about setting boundaries and then honoring them, right?
Right,
That's the whole secret to time blocking.
yeah.
But I imagine that you said that you're really good at it with your clients at the hair salon. But if somebody said, "I know you're not normally in on Wednesday, but my daughter's getting married and the something is Wednesday night, could you just squeeze me in?"
For much of my life, I've been a yes person,
Mm-hmm.
and that wears on me. It wears
Yes.
on me. If I feel like I can do that, and I want to do that, and I feel like, you know, it's doable, then I'll consider it. But there are times now that it's okay to say no, for my mindset, my health, you know.
And I think that's a big thing, learning to say no and
Yes,
learning that no is a complete answer.
right.
And are we gonna be good at it 110% of the time? No, maybe not even 75% of the time, but if we have that intention to remember that no is a sentence. Yeah, no, I can't do
I
that, right?
agree.
Love that. Okay, awesome. All right, and then mindset. I know this is a really big one.
Yeah.
Mindset shifts. What mindset shifts do you think that you've had that has led to your success, Jennifer?
Do it scared.
Do it scared. That's really good. That should be a slogan. We should have that on a shirt or something.
Do it scared. And my hair clients are probably so sick of me saying this, but it's time to have fun.
It's time to have fun.
I am such eh, it's time to have fun. And that has made real estate and doing hair so much more enjoyable. I know life isn't always fun. I know that. But there's got to be a way to cope with what's going on and still try to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And, many things are this too shall pass, and we all get in ruts. And, I'm not all about, oh, positivity. I mean, yes, I like to have a positive mindset, but there are days I am not positive.
Oh, and that's the valley you were talking about, right?
Yeah,
And it's okay because we can just embrace that too. We get to feel all of the things that we feel.
sure. And for me, shifting my mindset allows me to want to take the time to time block and get excited about, you know, my next steps and being organized. And one of the biggest thing for me is I'm a visual learner, so I have to get it out of my head and onto either paper, a vision board, something, so I can see. Because, when it's up here, it's just all jumbled because it's one thought, then the next thought, then another one, and they're so, ships passing in the night. So, yeah,
Can't
it
remember what the thought was 5 minutes ago for me sometimes.
right. So, it's, again, back to what is your why? And for me, I have to have that visual in front of me. So
Okay. All right, Jennifer. So what's the future for Jennifer? Are we staying under the umbrella with everything for a while? Do you have a plan, long-term goal
yeah,
that you want to share?
long-term goal, you know yes, long-term goals, I would love to get into investing, um, you know, again, helping people, that sort of thing. But I really am enjoying where I'm at right now with
Okay.
the hair industry, doing real estate. I love it. It meshes together and I'm having fun, and the stand-up comedy, and I'm just it's important also to stay in the present moment and
Be
be
happy where
excited
you
about
are.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love that. And this is great for the listeners out there that think, you know what? I love my job. I don't want to be full-time real estate. And nobody said you have to,
right.
right? You just have to figure out how to get it to fit. I love your visual of under an umbrella, right? Figure out how to make it fit under one umbrella.
And
Because
I
if you walk around trying to carry two umbrellas, you're going to get wet down the middle.
right.
Yeah.
And I also feel like in my mind that I'm not part-time. I'm actually in my mind full-time real estate because I am working my real estate from the moment get up throughout any time at the salon, because I'm talking about it, people are asking me about it, I'm working on it, if somebody is processing, I go home, I eat dinner, I'm working on it again. I mean, it's to me, it is something I do all the time, and it's always in my mind, so it's just a good feeling to know that I'm helping people and who's the next person I can help. And if I'm not selling or helping somebody buy a property, what can I do to help you find, multiple contractors or,
Whatever you need. Yeah.
help people? Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what this sounds like to me, Jennifer? It
But,
sounds like living your purpose.
you hit it right on, right on. And that brings me to something I always say is you are important, you have purpose, and you matter. And if we can remember that for ourselves, I think that's really important, and you hit it. I'm living my purpose.
You just gave me goosebumps. I love them. I call them joy bumps, but you just gave them to me. So
Aw.
very cool. All right, Jennifer, if the listeners out there have a client that's moving into Indiana, where would they where if they have a client moving, where is your area? Where would they know this is my referral partner?
Yeah, north side of Indianapolis. I've actually gone all over, to be honest, all over Indiana, but mainly, the north side of
The
Indianapolis.
north side of Indianapolis. And we're going to put in the show notes all of your contact information.
Yeah.
Do you have anything I should have asked you that I didn't, or something that you want to share that I didn't ask you about?
Just that take some time to find what you're good at and value yourself. And once you do that, I think a lot of that what's to come will fall into place. You still have to work hard, you still have to put in a lot of effort, but it'll feel more natural.
I
So,
love that. Oh, figure out what you're good at and then it'll just come natural. That's called flow.
yeah.
Oh, Jennifer, thank you so much. I knew this was going to be inspiring and you just knocked it out of the ballpark. It was even more than I thought it was going to be.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
thank you so much.
I've had fun. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, Jen, that was so much fun. Fun is the theme of this one, and I love it. All right, it is time to jump into the keys to success. And Jen gave us a lot of amazing nuggets that we can explore. These keys to success, you can try these out and see if they help you unlock your success. So, like always, we are going to start today with choices, and we are going to have to start with choosing to have fun. You know, fun is a choice. And I think somewhere along the line, we forgot. If you think back to being a child, everything was fun. It didn't matter. You could have fun doing nothing. You could have fun doing anything. And somehow we become adults and somehow we think that fun is something that we have to sacrifice. And that just isn't true. So, keys to success, choices. Jen chooses to have fun. Will you choose to have fun? Will change your perspective and I think lead to your success. Another choice that Jen talked to us about was integrating her dual careers into under one umbrella. And that helps her maintain balance or counterbalance and coherence. Instead of seeing her salon and real estate ventures as competing interests, she chooses to integrate them. And this approach allows her to maintain and manage both businesses basically seamlessly and also maintain cohesive professional identity. So no one is surprised that she is both. Now, I know sometimes if you're in the corporate world or some other type of organization, this might not be as easy or seem as seamless as it is for Jen. But I want you to consider how you could consider them two pieces to the same puzzle and see how changing the way you look at that might change things. We have a saying, it's change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. And that is so true. So think about how you might be able to integrate and create coherence between your dual careers. The other choice that Jennifer talked to us about was prioritizing continuous learning. Jennifer decided to invest in herself personally and her professional development by consistently learning, whether it's real estate courses, reading, or taking that stand-up comedy class to overcome her fears, which is such a great way to grow. You know, they say that growth only happens when we're uncomfortable, and I can't think of anything quite as uncomfortable as trying to be a stand-up comedian. I'm looking forward to seeing Jen someday on stage. All right. So actions. It's time for keys to success actions, time blocking for success.
Jennifer implemented time blocking to manage her dual careers effectively. You hear this time and time again. I think you heard it last week. I'm sure you heard it the week before that. You're going to hear it again and again and again, because this is one of the most important things that you can do so that you can achieve success. By scheduling her dedicated time for both the salon and her real estate activities, this is how she gets that counterbalance and avoids burnout. See, one of two things happens if we don't time block. We think real estate, well, we'll do it wherever it fits in. And then what happens is it never fits in. So we never do it. And we definitely aren't doing anything consistently. And remember, we have got to be consistent to find success. The other thing that happens is that we just fill our lives up so full that there is no white space on the calendar. We have no time for our family. We have no time for self-care, and we will burn out. And that is not a recipe for success or health or happiness or fun or any of those things. So we have got to get good at time blocking. Jennifer also talked about choosing an action which was authentic lead generation. She leveraged her existing relationships with her salon clients and her friends and family to generate real estate leads organically. And just because she was lead generating doesn't mean that she couldn't have genuine conversations. And she's able to introduce her real estate services without feeling salesy. I've said it before, and I will say it to you again. If you stop considering this a sales business and you start thinking of it as service, you provide a very valuable and very important service, and you are just offering your service to people to see if they need your help. So use this thinking when we do our lead generation so that you come from a place of authenticity, and that way people will feel comfortable and look forward to receiving your phone calls. And then again, action. We cannot skip over this because this is such an amazing one. Conquering fear through comedy. To build her confidence and overcome her fears, Jennifer took up stand-up comedy. This action not only helped her personally, but also positively impacted her professional life because it made her more resilient and fearless in her business ventures. Oh my gosh, talk about script practice. I tell you, you need to do script practice, conversation practice. It's one of your 5 job responsibilities. Review real quick. Job responsibilities. Script practice and role play is the one that everyone always forgets. Then we have lead generation, lead follow-up, going on appointments, and negotiating contracts. That is your job as a real estate agent, and practicing having conversations. So if you think that having script practice around real estate conversations is too difficult, maybe you need to go out and find yourself a stand-up comedy class. There you go. That is an action to take for a key to success. All right, let's move on to mindset shifts. Having a unified purpose, right? A unified purpose is very important. A unified purpose is going to create a complementary position for your dual careers and your life. So instead of thinking of them as competing with one another, I have to do this, then I have to do that, then I have to do this, then I have to do that, right? If we think about, I am doing this. This is what I do for a living. I work my job and I have a real estate business, and the two of them can coexist. Jennifer shifted her mindset to view her dual careers as part of a single purpose, which was helping people. See, when she's working in the salon, she's helping people. And when she is working in real estate, she is helping people. This perspective helped her stay focused and motivated and see her work as fulfilling rather than overwhelming. So how can you view both of your dual careers under a unified purpose? Do you know what your purpose is? You've heard me say it before. Your reason has to be bigger than your resistance. If everything you're doing is all under a unified purpose, imagine the meaning that everything would have in your life. All right, the next mindset shift is adopting and maintaining a solution-based approach to challenges, turning problems into opportunities for growth. Jennifer adopted a solution-based mindset, approaching challenges as opportunities to find creative solutions. We got to seek those creative solutions. We have to seek first to understand. We have to ask lots of questions and then find creative solutions. This shift helped her navigate the ups and downs of both the salon and her real estate business with resilience. So sometimes our transactions for our clients, sometimes there's some challenges and some difficulties. And seeking first to understand and asking lots of questions and then looking for creative solutions, well, that is going to make you very successful. There's just no doubt about that. All right, our last mindset shift today is embracing fun and positivity. Embracing fun and joy in her work, Jennifer understood that a positive mindset can drive both personal and professional success. She embraced the idea that work can be and should be fun. By prioritizing that joy and positivity in her daily routine, she found greater satisfaction, which led to greater success in both of her careers. So let's have some fun. Let's maintain a positive mindset and let's have fun. So, my challenge to you today is, what can you do today to have fun? Well, I hope that you had fun today listening to our interview with Jen, because I certainly enjoyed and had fun and found much joy in my conversation with her. I am looking forward to our very next opportunity to get together. So join us again next week. We will have yet another inspiring story, followed by keys to success, helping you find the path to achieve your success. If you enjoyed this podcast and you can think of another real estate agent that might benefit from hearing these inspiring stories and keys to success, please share our podcast. And if you would do me a favor and rate and review this podcast wherever you listen to it, that will help us share with more agents as well. Until next week, keep pushing forward toward your goal, and I can't wait to see you again soon.
Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're leaving inspired and you found a key or two you're going to try out this week to see how they help you to unlock your success. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single story. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, you can find me at doubledutypodcast.com. That link is also in the show notes. Until next time, have a productive week.